Well, today's question was sent in by our listener, Candi. So, someone in Candi's team was recently promoted to become their boss. Let's call him Brian, okay? Now, Candi says it's obvious that Brian doesn't want the job and he's a reluctant and uninspiring leader who prefers to take orders from higher management. Brian's boss even told the team privately that they should all try their best to boost Brian's confidence and praise Brian occasionally. I mean, excuse me? But Candi loves her job and her colleagues. And she's asking, how do I work with a boss that requires managing in the hopes that they will become a better one? You and I are just like...
You got me at excuse me, right? Because like Brian's boss, what's happening?
Yeah, Brian's boss, what is wrong with you?
It makes me wonder about like how did Brian even get to
there.
where he is at? And he's a replacement, right?
Yes, he's the replacement. So it sounds like they wanted to find somebody else, but then they maybe couldn't find somebody else. So they just got Brian to come on and take that position. And then to now tell his subordinates to, hey, boost your boss's confidence. I mean, when I first read this, I was quite shocked by it because to me, I'm like, this is not kindergarten. We're not here to like, gentle parenting, respectful parenting, make people feel good about themselves. This is my boss, right? Why should I make my boss feel, confident and praise them? I think it's Brian's boss's job to do that.
I think also it doesn't quite inspire the confidence if you feel that your boss needs you to affirm them. And it's like, it shouldn't be the other way around.
Yes.
It doesn't quite make me feel like I can trust my boss very much.
That's true.
But Brian's boss might have Brian's interest in mind. It certainly doesn't work out for everybody.
Okay, so now we have to have Candi's interest in mind.
Yeah.
What can Candi do? Candi may be able to just have a sit down with Brian, right? I mean, you don't have to raise up the fact that like, hey, your boss asked me to boost your confidence. Perhaps Brian is struggling because Brian is the reluctant leader here. Talk to Brian, ask, what are some of things that I can take off your plate? What are some of things that you prefer that I can do rather than you do? Maybe Brian just, doesn't like to make all the decisions. So then Candi can say, well, then could you give me permission and empower me to make the smaller decisions so I don't have to always come to you with the micro decisions.
Okay. So you are trying to offload Brian's work a little bit and also get more autonomy.
Yes, that's right. Then that frees up Brian's mind to think about other things, right? And it also allows Candi to sort of like work in the space that she's given, and she might be able to achieve better results.
Looking at helping Brian is definitely one way. And also helping Candi herself, right, by asking for some responsibilities to be delegated to her.
Yes.
I also think that for Candi, maybe it's good for her to perhaps understand a bit why Brian is like that. Maybe looking at the bigger picture, was Brian forced into this a situation to step up, to cover for somebody else? Does he really want to do this? If there's this bigger understanding, then maybe Candi can see, can put herself in his shoes a bit more and maybe find ways to manage that relationship a bit better.
I think the other thing also Candi can also do is if Brian's boss repeats the same advice again, I think Candi needs to really just draw very clear boundaries, just to let the boss know that, look, it's not my job to make my boss feel appreciated.
Yes.
I can be very honest with my boss. I can help my boss, but it is really not my job to say, good job, well done, you're a very good boss. That is Brian's boss's job.
I hope there's this opportunity to tell the boss that, the way you say it doesn't help Brian.
Yeah, it's true.
It really, really doesn't help Brian.
It's making me lose confidence in Brian.
Yeah, and perhaps I don't know whether the team, they feel that way as well. Maybe Candi could even lend her support to Brian by saying that, I'm behind you.
Yes.
I love what I do, and I know that you are just stepping into this role. How can I help you? Like you said, right? How can I help you? So that we can build this thing together. I think that kind of support works better than, good job, Brian.
Yeah.
Hey,
Good job.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think there is opportunity here to change the workflow a little bit. There is opportunity, so there is a glimmer of hope. I don't think that this is a situation where Candi needs to say, I quit. This is not for me. See this as an opportunity to bring Brian back to the table and say, how would you want to lead us, and how can we help you? And if Brian cannot articulate it out, Candi can actually say, okay, this is how we can do it. Maybe you can split into smaller teams, empower your teams. That way we are taking a lot of things off your plate. And I believe that eventually you will see that he's less of a reluctant leader.
Yes.
Yeah.
I believe there are different types of leadership styles. Not
Yes.
every leader is the assertive, communicative style. So really need to take some time to know someone. Maybe Candi and the team, they can consider going for some team building, some team building activities to get to build a new culture.
Yeah.
A new leader requires a new way of working as well. So it's all about figuring out how the team has to accommodate each other, communicate within the work scope, and then, so that they can perform.
Go and play an escape room.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, if like Candi, you have a work-related dilemma, do write into us. We are at cnapodcasts@mediacorp.com.sg. This podcast is also available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Me Listen, YouTube, where a video version of this is at.
I'm Gerald.
And I'm Tiffany.